Hello everyone, let's move on to next topic, electromagnetic effect. As I'm going to start this topic, let's revise a little bit the characteristics of inductive effect. What are the points you have to keep it in your mind? Why? Because actually the inductive effect is very important in organic chemistry as it is helpful in explaining the reactivity of alkyl halides, relative strength of acids and bases, and etc. Many things will come. Okay, so the first point you have to remember that inductive effect is a permanent effect in the molecule or ion. Next, the shared pair of electrons, although permanently it is shifted to the more electronegative atom, yet it remains in the same valence shell in single direction. Number 3, inductive effect is responsible for physical properties such as melting point, boiling point, solubility, dipole moment, etc. And it also affects the rate of chemical reactions. Next point, the magnitude of inductive effect becomes negligible after 2-3 intervening bonds. As you have seen, after delta, delta, delta plus, delta, delta, delta plus, after that the effect is negligible. Inductive effect is transmitted along the chain through sigma bond. Okay, these are the important features of inductive effect. Now let's start the electromagnetic effect. Electromagnetic effect is a temporary effect. Now, the most important part of this electromagnetic effect is that it is a temporary effect. And why it is temporary? Because it plays because it comes into action at the demand of the attacking reagent. Okay, means when attacking reagent, you are aware of substrate, attacking reagent, product, byproduct. Okay, when attacking reagent attacks on the carbon chain, then only it comes in action. When we will remove the reagent, this electromagnetic effect will also be removed. Okay, so this is the reason it is called a temporary effect. Next, it occurs in the compound having multiple bond. Multiple bond means double bond and triple bond, means pi. In inductive effect you have seen that sigma bond is responsible, but in electromagnetic effect your pi bond is responsible. So a multiple bond consists of double bond or triple bond is responsible, must be present, then only electromagnetic effect can be seen. It is of two types, positive electromagnetic effect and negative electromagnetic effect. Try to understand it with this example. Here I am taking a carbonyl group. Okay, you can see multiple bond, double bond is present here. And now I am adding a reagent. Reagent is added. What will happen? This pi bond will shift to the atom which is more electronegative. In carbon and oxygen, you should know that oxygen is more electronegative. So the product will come, more negative will be minus, less negative will become plus. Okay, this is occurring when I have added the reagent. When I will remove the reagent, I will get this group again back. Okay, so as soon as the reagent is removed, the molecule comes back to its original position. So now what you can say, the complete transfer of pi electron pair. The complete transfer of pi electron pair to one of the atom joined by a multiple bond. Multiple bond, which atoms can be joined? Carbon, 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 oxygen, carbon, nitrogen. etc. This is called electromeric effect. Okay, now before moving to positive effect and positive negative E effect, first let's see the direction of the shift of pi electron pair. Now, if I am saying that one atom is more electronegative, sometimes it can occur that both will have same electronegativity. So let's see what happens when the pi electron pair is shifted towards the more electronegative element. This example will go with this point. Here you can see that oxygen is more electronegative. Pi bond is getting shifted to oxygen and oxygen is becoming negative and carbon is becoming positive. Now let's see if in case there is no difference in the electronegativity of the atoms linked to the multiple bonds, the pi electron pair shift is decided by the direction of inductive effect. Okay, do you remember that inductive effect? When both the atoms will have same electronegativity, the pi electron pair shift is decided by the direction of inductive effect. For example, methyl group. Methyl group is electron releasing group. Therefore, the transfer of electrons will be shown like this. And you have to remember that inductive effect arrow is shown like this and electromeric effect arrow is shown like this. It is inductive effect is denoted by capital I. Electromeric effect is shown by capital E. It can be plus I, positive I, negative I. It also can be positive electromeric effect, negative electromeric effect. Now this is your compound, methyl. You will see that whenever I will show the electromeric effect, multiple bonds should be present there. This is my compound. In multiple bond, you can see that both the compounds are same. CH is bonded to double bond with CH. Now see what will happen. This pi bond will shift to this carbon because of this methyl group. Here inductive effect is effective, so this pi bond is being shifted to this carbon. So your final compound will be CH3, single bond CH, single bond CH2. This is positive, this is negative. This was your second case when both the atoms are having same electronegativity. If in case identical groups or atoms are linked to the multiple bond, pi electron pair may shift in either direction. This is CH2, double bond CH2. Both groups are identical. Now what will happen? It can give either CH2, single bond CH2 plus minus, or CH2, CH2. Okay, so in case identical groups or atoms are linked to the multiple bond, pi electron pair may shift to either direction. Now let's see what is positive effect, positive E effect. If the electrons of the pi bond are transferred to that atom to which the attacking reagents gets finally attached. This is your attacking reagent. And where it is being attached? CH2, CH2, CH3 means it is attacking here. So if the electrons of the pi bond are transferred to that atom to which the attacking reagents gets finally attached, then the effect is called positive electromeric effect. Here you can see that this hydrogen is attacking reagent. It is getting attached to this CH2 group. Okay, and you can see that this pi bond is being shifted to this hydrogen. Alkenes are good examples to show the positive electromeric effect. Now see negative electromeric effect. If the electrons of the pi bond are transferred to an atom other than the one to which the reagent gets finally attached. Here you can see this cyano reagent. This reagent, this attacking reagent is getting attached to this carbon. But shift is being shown to because of the electronegativity of oxygen. Pi electron is being shifted to oxygen, not to that carbon on which the attacking reagent is being attached. This is minus a negative electromeric effect. For example, the attack of cyanide ion on aldehydes and ketones. CHO is your aldehyde group. In aldehydes and ketones, we can show the negative electromeric effect. When inductive and electromeric effects operates in opposite direction, it is the electromeric effect which predominates. You have to remember this. And one more point, electromeric effect always helps the reaction to proceed, whereas inductive effect may oppose. So it's the time to compare between inductive effect and electromeric effect. First point, you know that electromeric inductive effect is permanent effect and this is temporary effect. Okay, electromeric is temporary, inductive effect is permanent effect. It doesn't need the presence of a reagent. It occurs only in the presence of any attacking reagent. Okay, and what occurs, you know, in inductive and electromeric effect. Let's move on to the topic resonance. Okay, first we will see these structures, then I will explain you something about the resonance. I am making the structure of carbon dioxide. This is CO2. This can also be written as structure 1, structure 2, structure 3. If I will write any of the structure for CO2, carbon dioxide, none you can say wrong. And this can only be explained by the phenomena of resonance or mesomerism. Now try to understand. Sometimes A single structure cannot explain all the properties of a molecule or ion. In such cases, two or more structures are assigned to the molecule or ion. But none of these structures can explain all the properties of that molecule or ion. The molecule or ion is considered as the resonance hybrid of all such structures. And all these structures are called contributing or canonical structures. These all are, you can say, contributing structures or canonical structures. Now, normally we represent carbon dioxide with this structure. The normal carbon double bond oxygen bond is found to be 122 ppm. But experiments show that carbon oxygen bond length in CO2 is 115 ppm. Now, if you have to explain this, then resonance will help you to explaining this. Actually, the carbon oxygen bond length is shorter than expected, indicating that carbon oxygen bond has some triple bond character. You should know that when we will study about, actually many things are in different chapters. So whenever it is coming, try to understand in detail. You are definitely going to study in any of your topic. Single bond is greater, double bond is shorter to single bond, triple bond is more shorter to double bond. Here from instead of 122, 115 it is showing. It means it is having some triple bond character. So thus carbon oxygen bond length is shorter than expected, indicating that carbon oxygen bond has some triple bond character. To explain this fact, carbon dioxide molecule is considered to be the resonance hybrid of these structures. This phenomena is known as resonance or mesomerism. And all the contributing or canonical structures are imaginary. And the molecule or ion exists only in one form, and that is called resonance hybrid. Let's draw the structure of benzene. If I am drawing benzene, I can draw like this. I can also draw it like this. Okay, both double bond. Double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond. C6S6. This is your benzene. This is structure 1, this is structure 2. Both are contributing structures. And resonance hybrid, the structure which can depict both is this. This is called resonance hybrid. This structure is resonance hybrid. And none of the structure can explain all the properties of the benzene molecule. There are carbon-carbon single bond and carbon-carbon double bond. The carbon-carbon bond single bond length is 154 pm. And carbon-carbon double bond length is 134. But in benzene molecule, all the carbon-carbon bonds are of equal length and their bond length is 139 pm. The carbon-carbon bond length in benzene suggests that any two adjacent carbon atoms are neither linked by a single bond nor by a double bond. So the structure 1 and structure 2 do not represent the actual benzene molecule. Therefore, benzene molecule is represented by structure 3, and this is called resonance hybrid. The circle inside the benzene ring shows that the pi electrons are completely delocalized. The circle inside the benzene ring shows that the pi electrons are completely delocalized. Few structures are drawn in your book, page number 775. Try to make the resonance hybrid of those structures. Let's draw one here. Carboxylate ion, or let's draw the nitrate ion, NO3 minus. You can write it in your copy. NO3. This is one structure of nitrate ion. Next. And one more can be drawn. Okay, like this, practice for more ions. Now let's see the effect of resonance. It is given in your book very clearly. It has been found very useful in calculating interionic distance. Distance between this nitrogen oxygen, this. Partial ionic character of bonds and energy of the molecules. This is the application of resonance. It is helpful in explaining the mechanism of several chemical reactions. Resonance along with hydrogen bond is helpful in various ways in biological systems, and it also explains the existence of odd electron bonds. And with the effect of resonance, in the case of an ion, the charge density decreases due to the delocalization of charge, and ion becomes more stable. More resonating structure, more the compound will be stable. This point you have to remember. For inductive effect, it should always be in your mind, that is permanent effect. Electromagnetic effect, temporary effect. Resonance means more the resonance, greater the stability. Resonance increases stability. This you have to remember. Resonance increases stability of a molecule or ion. Due to greater stability, the molecule becomes less reactive. Stable means it is less reactive. The resonance in benzene is given here. Let's see what is resonance energy. The resonance hybrid is more stable and has less energy than any of the contributing structures. The stability of resonance hybrid is determined in the terms of resonance energy or delocalization energy. It is also termed as delocalization energy or resonance energy. Greater the resonance energy, more stable is the resonance hybrid. Okay, as I have said that for resonance, you have to remember that resonance increases stability. So greater the resonance energy, more stable is the resonance hybrid. The resonance energy of benzene is 150.62 kilojoule per mole. This shows that internal energy of the resonance hybrid is 150.62 kilojoule per mole, less than that of the most stable contributing structure of benzene. Thus, benzene is more stable than expected from the structures containing 3 double bonds. Okay, so the structure I have drawn showing single bond, double bond. The final, this is your resonance hybrid of benzene. So thus benzene is more stable than the expected from the structures containing 3 double bonds. What should be the conditions for resonance? Number one, the position of atoms in all the contributing structures remains same. Position will remain same. The contributing structures differ in the position of electrons only. Only electrons will be differ. The atom which is present in the resonance structure also, it will present there only. All the resonance structures should have the same number of unpaired electrons. With the number of resonating structures we will draw, we have to see that that all should have the same number of unpaired electrons. The energy of the contributing structure should be nearly equal. Resonance occurs among planar structure. Greater the stability of a contributing structure, greater is its contribution towards the resonance. So let's stop here, and next I will discuss about the mesomeric effect and hyperconjugation. If time will be there, then I will move on to bond fission or bond cleavage. Okay, thank you children. एक मिनट चुप रहो. So this much only for this lecture. In next lecture, I'll move on to mesomeric effect, hyperconjugation effect, and if time will be there, then I will move on to bond fission, that is cleavage of bond. Thank you children.